Happy Thursday, coming off a winning day, and Kevin Cash is the man. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're here to talk some baseball, even though it is a small slate today. Nice 3-2 day yesterday, but man, we had some sweaty winners. We got a little lucky, but it was a weird day in MLB, which you always get when you have day games. Let me just tell you a little bit about what happened. How about Dodgers scoring 0 versus the Nationals and losing the series outright? That Dodgers under wins that I had is also looking good. Yankees scored 4 in the ninth to win that game. Thank freaking goodness. We'll talk about that. 4 of the top 6 highest scoring teams in the entire major leagues, the Dodgers, Guardians, Brewers, and Padres, scored a combined 1 run. Welcome to day baseball. Anyways, we got a small 5-game slate, like I mentioned, and no NBA games. So we'll have an NBA video out for the Friday. Unfortunately, we lost on the hook, and we are now 2-2 in the play-in tourney, but we'll be back for those 2 Friday games. Other than that, I don't got much else. We got a lot of research help, including who's on fire. So we got a big video for you today. So let's start it out. And of course, it starts with that baseball fun fact. So here we go. Greg Maddux faced 20,421 batters in his career. Only 310 of them saw a 3-0 count. And of those 310, 177 of them were intentionally walked. That means on purpose, on accident, only 133 batters saw a 3-0 count. Absolutely insane. It did help that umpires were giving them a foot off the outside corner back in the day, but anyways, Maddux had some command, that's for sure. But anyways, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday, and then we're going to give you the good hitter matchups, even though it's a small 5-game slate. And then we're going to talk who's on fire, and then the good pitcher strikeout matchups, the pitcher report, and then, of course, the best bets. And we'll wrap it all up with the bets recap. As you can hear, my voice is already going out. But if you haven't already, hit that like button. Leave a comment below, help this channel grow, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. This community is absolutely awesome, as we are now on our way to 24,000 subscribers. So that's what we got for you. Let's get it started, and it starts with the recap. All right, it was a wild 3-2 day, and it started with the Royals loss. They were up 1-0, and Brady Singer made one mistake. Well, he made a couple mistakes before that. He walked the guy and then had a 2-0 count, and Paul DeJong hit a 2-run bomb with one swing. 2-1 they lost in the first 5 innings. And then Zach Littell. This is why Kevin Cash is the man. He's the manager of the Rays, and he's an absolute beast for just letting Littell just keep going in the game. He had 90-something, 92 pitches or so, 93 pitches after 5 innings. And they put him back out there for the 6th. He got 2 outs and just went over. We won on the hook on that one. That was wild. I didn't think we had a chance. Littell was not very efficient, especially the first couple innings, but that was sweet. And then the Nerfy. Both teams had a guy on second base. It was stressful, as you can imagine, but they pulled it out. So that was a nice win. And then we just get sweatier and sweatier as we talk about it. Yankees money line, they scored 4 in the 9th inning. They were down 2 going to the 9th. They scored 4 and won the freaking game. It's hard to sweep a team, and they luckily got one game in Toronto and came through in the clutch. I badmouthed Aaron Judge all day. He was like 5 for his last 37, but he gets a double to take a 2-run lead. And then Jeremy Pena and Trey Turner. I almost went with Marcell Ozuna and Trey Turner. I don't know why I didn't. If I did, they both hit a home run, Ozuna and Turner. But Jeremy Pena, one of only 3 Astros today, did not get a hit. He was absolutely scorching hot on a hitting streak. He goes 0 for freaking 5. Just brutal. But Trey Turner got a home run. That was easy. Anyways, 3-2 day. With all that said, a lot of rambling, a lot of wild, sweaty bets. But anyways, just a small winning day. We'll take it. But I need a sweep. I need a good day. So anyways, there's all the records, the overall record. We're trying to dig out of that early season hole, but we got a long ways to go. So before we get into those best bets, let's talk the good hitter matchups. All right, only 5 games. So we got 5 good hitter matchups, and it's all in the exact same game. 4 Diamondbacks hitters against Logan Webb, Carroll, Walker, McCarthy, and Moreno. Hitting the ball pretty dang well off Logan Webb, which is surprising because Webb is a solid pitcher. And then the lone giant, Michael Conforto, 3 for 7, 2 extra base hits, and a home run versus Ryan Nelson. So that's all we got for the pitcher or the hitter matchups. But before we talk some arms, it's time to talk who's on fire. All right, if you're new to the channel, we give this out once a week, every single week, just to kind of let you guys know who is on absolute fire hitting the ball. Because sometimes in baseball, betting them is just betting them on their hot streaks, like we've done with Ozuna and a few guys this year. But if they're in the green, that's the leader in the clubhouse. So we have a minimum of 20 at bats to make this list. We got 2 pages, and you have to hit 340 or higher in this one. So Brian De La Cruz for the Miami Marlins. Maybe one of the only guys hitting on that team, but he is leading the way with 9 ribbies. And then, as you can see, the rookie Colton Cowser of the Baltimore Orioles with 4 home runs. And then also down there, our boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Marcell Ozuna, 9 RBIs also to tie Brian De La Cruz and Ryan Jeffers. Who had that? Jeffers hitting 478 right now for the Twins. And then there's all the rest of the guys. You can see Mookie Betts always hitting the ball well. Jeremy Pena, you think he would, huh? Hitting 400 in the last 7 days, and then he goes 0 for 5. If there is someone who can cool a hitter down, it is me sometimes. But anyways, Trey Turner hitting the ball well, so on and so on. So anyways, that is the first page. Let's go check out page number 2 now. And Anthony, I don't care about baseball, Rendon. He's finally swinging the bat well. It's been like 5 years since that happened. And then Polar Bear, so on and so on. But Jackson Merrill, the rookie for the Padres, how about that? 429. That's not too shabby. And then Tatis also for the Padres. Padres lost Soto, and they are swinging the bat a lot better this year. It's pretty strange. But anyways, there's all the players. I won't go over every single one, but hopefully this helps you get some winners. I know it's only a 5-game slate, but this can help you get winners Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and things like that. So it's kind of a good place to start, maybe if you're trying to do hitter parlays and things like that. So that is the hitters on fire. And now let's talk some arms. All right, guys, on this 5-game slate, we have no good pitcher strikeout matchups. So instead, we're going to give you the 2 bad pitcher strikeout matchups. So if you want to go under Ks, here's 2 options, depending where the lines are and stuff. But we got AJ Puck versus the Cubs. Cubs, 5th lowest K percentage versus lefties this year, only striking out 17.5%. AJ Puck, only 8 strikeouts in 10.2 innings this season. He has 1, 5, and 2 Ks in the 3 starts versus those teams. So that's a good one. Next one, Logan Webb versus the D-backs. So we talked to you about some of those D-backs hitters that are hitting him well. Arizona as a whole, how about the 3rd lowest K percentage versus righties this season at only 18.4%? And then Mr. Logan Webb, only 17 Ks in 23.2 innings this year. He's had 5, 3, and 4 Ks in the 3 starts versus those 3 teams. And the Arizona Diamondbacks have a better K percentage, lower K percentage than all 3 of those teams. So anyways, I thought that might help just because there's nothing else to give. No over ones, no high strikeout teams against high strikeout pitchers or anything. So hope maybe this can get you some winners. But anyways, before we get to those best bets, let's go take a peek at the pitcher report. All right, here are the 5 matchups we have today, and there he is, the guy that all Texas Rangers fans have been waiting for, Jack Leiter, finally making his Major League Baseball debut. The 2nd overall pick by the Rangers in 2021. Injuries and struggles have made it a little bit longer to get here, but he is now making his first start against the Tigers, so that's going to be fun to watch. The command hasn't always been there, but lately it's been a little better. This season, AAA, he had a 3.77 ERA, 0.99 WHIP, 25 Ks and 3 walks in 14.1 innings. That's right, 25 strikeouts in 14.1 innings. So as long as he has his command, I think he can be a pretty good pitcher. That's why he was drafted 2nd overall. But anyways, we're going to see how that goes against the Tigers. Should be a fun one. Other notes on this page, Kenta Maeda against him struggled a bit this season with the new team. All these stats that you're looking at are 2023, but so far this year, 6 ERA with only 10 Ks and 5 walks in 15 innings. And then down there, we got Carlos Carrasco Tabasco. He has pitched decent this season, 3.5 ERA, but he's struggling with command. He's been around the league for a while, but he's struggling with command this year, 9 walks and 12.2 innings. I don't know anything about Bernardino. I'm going to be honest. There's a late ad on the card, and I didn't have a chance to look him up, but I believe he is actually just a bullpen guy now that I think about it, just a bullpen opener for the Red Sox. And then Jameson Taillon, he is making his first start of the season, not of his career, of the season. So we'll see how that goes for the Cubs. And then both Canning and Payout down there, we're going to talk more about them later, so I'll just leave it off. But if you're new, as you can see, all the different categories on the bottom are the averages, so you have something to go off of. Again, it's only 2023 right now, but we will be doing 2024 stats here very shortly on the pitcher report. So that's all we got, and now it's time for the best bets. All right, this segment of the show is brought to you by our sponsor, Better Bet. That's BTR Bet, the best place to find, track, analyze, and share your bets. Click that link in the description below and go check it out. It is awesome. So here we go. First game takes us out to Tampa, Florida. We got the Rays hosting the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Rays money line minus 155, Angels money line plus 130. Total in this game is 8.5 runs. And speaking of that total, that is my best bet. Give me the over 8.5 runs at minus 108 on FanDuel. Let's talk some over records and stats first. Rays are the fourth best over team in the major leagues right now at 12-7. Fourth best over team at home at 9-4. And then we go to the Angels. They are the 11th best over team at 10-8. They have the seventh best over team or over record on the road, also 7-5. They've scored the sixth most runs on the road this year, which is where they will be. So let's get into this starting pitcher matchup. It is Griffin Canning for the Angels. And then we got Mr. Ryan Pepiot of the Tampa Bay Rays. So let's talk about Mr. Canning. 9.88 ERA and a 6.43 expected ERA. It's just not pretty so far. He has given up an incredible, just mind-boggling, 13.8 hits per 9 innings. That's in the 10th percentile so far. To go with that, not missing many bats. How about a low 18.2% K rate? He's so far in 3 starts, he's given up 5, 4, and 6 earned runs. If he's given up 4 or 5 in the first 4 or 5 innings, I love my chances here. And just to dive a little deeper, he has 3 total whiffs this season on his fastball. 3. That's right, 3 more than me. And he throws that at a 39% usage. So it's a pitch he throws a decent amount. On the slider, he has 5 total whiffs. He throws that 18% of the time. And then how about the changeup? He throws a little bit more than the slider. Well, hitters are hitting 316 off of that changeup this year so far. So either way you slice it, it has not been good for Mr. Canning. And then he's facing the Rays offense. I'm not going to sit here and say Rays and Angels are just absolute dominant lineups, but they haven't been bad either. Rays 12th versus righties this season in WRC plus, weighted runs created, an overall way of telling how good your offense is. So they've been slightly above average, average to above average in most categories. I think it's a great spot here against Canning. If you need a bounce back day as an offense, he's your man. So Ryan Pepiot, he takes the mound for the Rays. We'll talk about him real quick. 5.40 ERA this year. We got guys that with some high ERAs and don't miss a lot of bats. Well, actually, Pepiot does miss a few, but he has a 5.15 expected ERA. So far this season, he has had 2 bad starts and 1 very good start, giving up 6, 0, and 4 runs in the 3 games. A 0 was against the Rockies. And he has a 30.8% K rate. So you're thinking this guy is missing a ton of bats. Well, he had 11 Ks versus the Rockies again. The other 2 games, he had 3 and 6. So that is a little inflated, in my opinion. He's not a guy who's going to strike out 30% of hitters. He's given up 3 home runs so far, and he's also a guy that relies on 3 different pitchers, the 4-seamer, slider, and changeup, and that's pretty much all he throws. The hitters so far against him have a 340 expected average versus the changeup and a 401 expected average versus the slider, hitting it very well. And now he is facing the Angels offense, and they've been average right around the Rays so far. They got some guys hitting it well, like Anthony Rendon, like we talked about, and Trout obviously is always good for a bomb, usually a solo bomb because not many people are on base sometimes for them. But they do hit the ball better on the road. I just think both pitchers are just not very good. It's more of a fate of the pitchers than a tale of the offenses. But the averages, we're talking about 2 average offenses versus 2 very struggling pitchers. And then we go to the bullpens because that's also half the game. Both are pretty gassed. 2 days ago, we talked about it already, 13-inning game. And just yesterday, Fairbanks and a few other guys. Fairbanks is a stud for the Rays, although he did struggle that game. But him and a few others also threw yesterday. They're gassed. And here's the kicker. This is wild to me. The Tampa Bay Rays have the highest bullpen ERA in the MLB. They have been absolutely struggling, and now they're tired. Angels have the 10th highest bullpen ERA, and they got some guys out too. So the bullpens are bad. The starting pitchers are bad. And we got 2 decent offenses. You know what? The first 3 games in this series have all gone over this 8.5 number already. I think 8.5 is a bit too low in this matchup. So give me that over as my first best bet. All right, this second best bet is a hitter parlay. Give me Harold Ramirez and Young-Hoo Lee at 1+ hit each at minus 114 on FanDuel. I may have butchered that second name, but I'm only putting a half unit on this myself. You guys do what you want. There's just not a lot of games, not a lot of choices right now. I do like this bet, but it's not one of my favorite hitter parlays I've ever had. So I'm going to do a half unit. I still like it, and let's talk about it. Harold Ramirez, 1+ hit, plays for the Tampa Bay Rays. He has 1+ hit in 11 of his last 13 games. If you look at his season average, it's only 254, but he started the season out 1 for 17. It was a slow start. Since then, he's 18 for 54, hitting 333, and he had an average over 300 last year as well, so he is a very good hitter. He's also 7 for his last 20, so swinging it really well. And then if you look at the pitches he likes to hit, he hits sliders and changeups very well. If you look at his last season numbers, 330 batting average versus sliders in 390 pitches. Like I mentioned earlier, Canning uses that 18% of the time. He hits 313 off changeups last year in 159 pitches, and Canning throws that 25% of the time. And then Canning also throws the fastball 39% of the time, and Harold Ramirez hit 392 off the four-seamer. So the pitches he throws, Harold Ramirez hits pretty well, as you guys can tell. And this year's small sample size, but for the most part, same numbers as well. So I like Harold Ramirez. He's going to hit somewhere. Sometimes he's second, sometimes he's fourth or fifth. But I like him. And the Angels bullpen also is obviously struggling. But we know Canning gives up a ton of hits. We already talked about it earlier. So that's the first leg. Second one, Young-Hoo Lee, if that's how you pronounce it, of the San Francisco Giants. He is the rookie they brought in. He's on a 9-game hitting streak. He started out slow, which, makes sense. He's just adjusting to the major leagues. But he's really picked it up, obviously, with a 9-game hitting streak. There's not a ton of data out on him yet, other than he was a good hitter before coming to the majors. And so far, he is showing that he can hit the ball. Facing Ryan Nelson, who's given up 17 hits in 13.2 innings this year. So I got 2 hitters that are facing very, very hittable starting pitchers. That's kind of all I got for him, honestly. I think he stays hot with a great matchup. I got a guy on a 9-game hitting streak and other guys who got a hit in 11 of his last 13. So, you know what? I think I see a lot of runs and a lot of at-bats for Harold Ramirez as well, like we talked about in the first bet. So that is the hitter parlay for a half unit. I may add a Nerfy, may add a third bet. There's not all the props out, which is tough because there's only 5 games already. I think 2 games are still missing props, and they don't have all the pitcher props especially, which I'm looking for as well. So any added plays will be in the pinned comments, like always, and on X and on Discord. So let's go check out the bets recap. All right, there it is. Just the 2 bets right now on the small 5-game slate. Give me the over 8.5 and the Angels Rays at -108. And then Harold Ramirez and Young-Hoo Lee of the San Francisco Giants. 1+ hit each at -114. That second bet is only a half unit for me. Another guy I also liked was Ahmed Rosario. I didn't see him on all the sports books yet, but he's also a guy who's been swinging the bat really well for the Rays if you want to have him in part of your parlays. So those are my 2 best bets for Thursday, April 18th. We're going to have a much bigger slate on Friday, so I can't wait for that. But be sure to check out any added plays down below in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. That's all I got for you. Hopefully this helps you guys go to get some winners. Thank you for the support and watching these videos. Hope everyone has a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon.